Hey fam, this is Paul and Roxie.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you again. So, babe, I was telling you yesterday at the Movers and Shakers special service,
Oh yes.
Papa Bless, so in his 10-minute sermon, was sharing about make it count. And so he made a statement that sort of got me stuck. In his story, he was sharing about, football. I know nothing about
The
football.
World Cup.
The World Cup.
Yeah.
And how this specific World Cup that happened in 2002, and just the fact that you only remember like the winner
Yeah.
of a match, any competition, you mostly remember the winner, not everyone else who participated,
Oh yes.
right?
Yeah.
But when he said 2002, I was like,
2002.
2002, that's
Where was
20 years ago. I was like, oh my God, I was here 20 years ago. That
Yeah.
it totally freaked me out. Actually, I'm not sure I had the rest of the sermon, but I was like, I was here 20 years ago. And I was like, what have I done on earth for 20 years?
Oh
You know?
gosh. Oh gosh.
Stop
Oh gosh.
it.
Because if
Like
if
20 years is
if
a
it
long
freaked you out,
time.
yeah, I think it freaked the hell out of me. Yeah.
Because 20 years is really, like, think about it. 20 years is actually a really long time,
Yes.
okay? So you could, if anyone has been in any space for 20 years, if you've been working at a specific, if you had that someone has worked maybe at this bank, because usually, I mean, banks are people who work forever,
Yeah.
for 20 years, you'd think, okay, that means they have moved up from this, they have done this is the value they have added, there must be a very, an MVP. If someone has been teaching for 20 years, how many lives have they changed and
Yeah.
all that? And you could look at life and think, okay, 20 years, maybe I was in, where was I? My second year at the university. Yeah, I was just getting to know life. But 20 years, if you've been doing something for 20 years, you should be an expert. I was
Yeah.
like, I should be an expert at living,
At something, yeah.
at adding value.
Yeah.
At, like, when did I learn to speak? How many people have been transformed by me speaking?
Yeah.
How many people have I interacted with in 20 years? And I'm not 20, babe, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
How many people have I
I know
interacted
that,
with?
yeah.
Thanks. How many people have I interacted with, and what have I learned from all those people that I've interacted with for 20 years? I mean, the thing 20 is just stuck in my head. I'm like, 20 years is actually a long
It's a long time.
time.
And 20 years is enough for you to have learned something and mastered yourself around it.
Yeah.
And then you can be able to add value. At least 20 years. And one of the things I've realized is that you can spend 20 years really not growing at anything.
It's true.
Yeah, can live just growing at nothing.
Yeah.
And if you've been around for 20 years, for example, if you're looking at any baby, a baby has about maybe a couple of months to learn how to walk, then start, mumbling some words. So then, you've lived on earth for such a long time, because 20 years is enough time for you.
Talking,
walking,
eating, making
you've already
friends,
found your
hopefully.
balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you done with that much time? And
Wow.
it was also a very good question for me, because then I was thinking about, hey, I think 20 years, you've done 1 year 20 times, a year 20 times, going in from January to December. I think
January
there's
to
value
December.
that you can be able to add. And
Yes.
Apostle Moses shared, I think, to this morning when we were talking about that, instead of looking at what you can get from others, you should be thinking about what value can you be adding to others.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you're moving with that mantra, then you definitely think about, I have enough, because that
Yeah.
statement says I have enough to give value.
Yeah.
Today I have enough value to give to even a 2-year-old,
Yeah.
a 5-year-old. I
Yeah.
can be a good father now. I don't have to wait for, again, 5 more years of experience
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So even for you have lots of value.
Wow. You know,
already to give.
the scripture says in Psalms 90, the 90th Psalm, verse 12, so teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you don't number your days, like this, we're in April. It has started, second quarter
Already.
of the year. And I'm thinking, the first 3 months of the year, what have I learned? What have I practiced? Who have I added value to? Because, sunrise, sunset, repeat, sunrise, sunset, repeat. And then, like, what am I doing with my life? Am I counting my days? Am I numbering my days?
Yeah.
Am I looking at the 31 years that I have lived on this earth, and what am I doing with that information?
Yeah.
And so that psalm from David is like, it's cautioning us that actually, no, is a prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a prayer. Lord, teach me to actually take note of the minutes, the hours, the months that I'm spending, that I may gain wisdom. There is wisdom to be gained,
Oh, yeah.
that there is a passage of time that you cannot retrieve, that you cannot go back to. And like Apostle Moses says, this is not a rehearsal.
No, it's
not a game. Like,
in session. Life is
you're
in
not
session.
going to go back and say, can we do that part again? No, you actually can't. So what can we do this morning or, today in regards to this thing?
I think one of the things that we can really do is to be mindful of how we start the day. Is to ask ourselves the question, who am I adding value to today?
That's a good one.
And also to end the day by asking, what have I learned today? What new thing have I learned today that could
What
be
am I
of
going to
value
do about
to
it?
someone else tomorrow or the other days? And the other question could be right now is, what am I good at right now that can be of value to others already? Because you've spent 20 years, 30 years, 15 years, 10 years already. There's something of value that you have already received, that you're already good at, that can be of value to someone else.
Yeah.
So write it down and start implementing that.
And the other thing I'm thinking about is, what of all the things that I'm learning, because you've asked, what have I learned today? What am I doing about it? Because,
Yes.
there is learning and teaching and never practicing. Like, even before, like, there is that middle part. Before
Yeah.
passing on the thing that I'm learning, what am I actually doing about it?
Yes.
So, in light of that, so you've said, in the morning, I start with, what can I do today to add value to someone?
Yeah.
And since I've asked that in the morning, maybe at night before I go to bed, what did I do today to add value to someone?
Yes.
And then the other thing can be at night still, what have I learned today and what can I do about it?
Yes.
Immediately. Not
Yeah.
next year, not January resolution.
Oh, yes.
Today, okay? Make it count today.
Make it count.
Share with us in the comment section what you're thinking about as you listen to this. We're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning and hearing what you did about this message, all right?
All righty. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.